what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
You're looking live at Liberty Field Hockey Field in Lynchburg, Virginia, as we get you set for this non-conference tilt featuring the captains of CNU and your Lynchburg Hornets. Welcome, everyone. In the bleachers, we are in depth with the spectators today as we get ready for another great edition of LHSN on YouTube. I'm Joe Hutzler, riding solo with you today in what should be another great edition of this rivalry. 9-8, that's CNU's record against Lynchburg since 2000, and we expect today to be another tight battle between these two regional opponents. Especially important when you look at the postseason, what may plan out to be, whether you're in or out, today's game certainly could be a huge factor in those numbers. We've got a lot of numbers to talk about in just a few moments, but for now, let's take a break, come back, and get ready for the first hit between Lynchburg and CNU.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole, no matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives. It brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion and the feel and the atmosphere of what's going on during the games and what's happening in the crowd and with the fans. We have hugely dedicated fans here at Lynchburg. They come out whether it's rain, snow, sleet, windy, no matter what, like they will come out and support their team and cheer them on. They will sit through anything. It's just, it brings us all together as one.
Just like that, we are back in Lynchburg, Virginia. Happy to have you along on this Sunday afternoon. CNU, as you saw before we got started there, coming in today with a record of 8-2 overall, undefeated at home, 2-1 on the road. Lynchburg, 7-3 overall this season, 5-2 at home. And here at this quote-unquote neutral site of Liberty University, Lynchburg is playing their their ninth game since 3 years ago when they started to come over here multiple times during the year, and they are looking to go 8-1 with a upset over number 12 CNU this afternoon, but it won't be easy. CNU coming in today with 5 shutouts. They've allowed 2+ goals only once, and that was the opening loss to the season, 5-1 to Messiah. Lynchburg, on the other hand, receiving votes, not nationally ranked yet, even after a victory over then number 2 Rowan, who dropped 2 spots to number 4. This is their second ranked opponent they will face in 7 days, both being on this field, which has been kind to Lynchburg, and not a field that a lot of teams are used to because of that astroturf until you get into the playoffs. Now, if you're familiar with the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, you know that Washington and Lee is always a perennial contender in field hockey. They sport an astroturf that Lynchburg has to play on at least once, sometimes twice a season. That was a huge reason why they decided to make this deal with Liberty, coming over here 3 times a year, so they were prepared if they had to go to Lexington, or of course if they had to play somewhere on the road in the playoffs. They would be used to not just practicing on this turf, but also playing on this turf. Quick notes about the coaches. You know Enza Steele, 580+ wins. She'll be a member of the NFHCA Hall of Fame in January of 2020. You may not know much about Kerry Mora, though. 16th season at the helm for the Captains, a 77% win percentage, which is 14th all-time in the country among coaches with at least, I believe it's 10 years. Yes, 10 years of experience. 12-plus wins in the past 14 seasons, including a Final Four in 2013. Last year, these teams took to Newport News. It was a 1-0 win for the Captains. They lead the overall series since 2009 and 8 overall. And Lynchburg hoping to bring that back to a 500 series record today. Hayden Shockley deflected by Dudley, and it rolls back here to be played by Izzy Diz. CNU, winners of their last 4. At home against Washington and Lee and Rhodes. Also Virginia Wesleyan. And then at Bridgewater, winners as well. Not in that particular order. WNL, Bridgewater, Rhodes, and Virginia Wesleyan, if you want to get technical about it. They've faced 3 ranked opponents this season. Number 4, Messiah. Number 9, Rochester. And number 5, Johns Hopkins. A member of the CAC, which only boasts 5 schools in field hockey. And that will likely change when York makes the complete shift from the CAC. Have not played a conference game yet. As Laro keeps that in play, Diz will sweep it away. Backhanded by Strauss, and whistle gives it to the Captains. $15 goals in the last 5 games for CNU, and they're looking to make some waves here. Abby Ascension in the corner, covered by Revman. And a corner early in the first given to the Captains. This will be their 90th corner of the season. They've scored 7 goals off of penalty corners this year.
Number 7.
Ware sends it in. This is Cook. And a shot saved from Nix and swept away by Brown. Still possession to the Captains, though. And another corner as that touched the foot of either Green or Brown. The Lynchburg fans do not agree. The Hornets coming off a 2-0 victory Friday night in their opening ODAC contest against Randolph-Macon at home on Schellenberger Field. Goals from Lindsay Riley and Emily Dudley as Ware sends it in again. Firing from the top, Nix goes down low, and Shockley there to usher that ball out of play. Nix laying out early, left the rebound opportunity there, but the Captains cannot capitalize. Miller, pressure comes from Laro. Laro dispossesses Miller, and then off the foot of Sabah. Laro driving, pulls it back. Open is Truitt. Kaylee Truitt lets it go inside, and just for good measure, Olivia Davis kicks it away. It'll stay here with Lynchburg just outside the 15. There's Truitt again. Davis easily deflects that one away and out of play into the Lynchburg bench. Davis having a terrific year, just 1 goal against average this season. Has only given up 1 goal against in the last 4 tilts. Some of that is skill, some of that is opponent. That judgment is up to you. Taylor Green, steady as ever, even with the pressure. Finds Brown to a spot on Schellenberger. That would have been a pass collected by Truitt, but on this speedy turf, no chance. Here's Kennedy Johnson, a senior from Chesapeake. Lifts one in the middle and knocked down by Kessa Romero. Romero, good ball ahead for Chapezi. Chapezi trying to poke it past. Whistle comes before the collision. Here come the Hornets inside the shooting area. And Dudley cannot keep up with it. Emily Dudley scoring a terrific goal yesterday after taking a stick and ball to the face on a swing from the Yellow Jackets. And she turned right around, ended up scoring after a pass from Lero was right on point. Didn't even celebrate. She said, oh, I just want to get off the field. My face hurts. I don't see a shiner, though. Somehow, at least from this distance, no black eye for Dudley. Off the foot of Lero, and back to the captains. Camera crew's got to watch out. Ball coming towards them there. See some great angles today from this field that have been a long work in progress for the crew with some new technology. Of course, all of this gearing up for our debut on ESPN3, October 19th. We'll begin with this squad, field hockey, battling Eastern Mennonite at 2 p.m. It's homecoming weekend, so a lot of contests to bring to you on the Worldwide Leaders streaming network. Brown to Truitt, right idea. Truitt along the end line and mishandled by Diz. We'll try it again. 8:34 remaining in the first quarter. Brown had that deflected. And guess what? We're going back to a long hit. Formation changes a little bit for CNU, and it works out. Good stick work by Ware. Mari Ware leads the team in goals with 7, points with 17. 6 straight games with a point, 2+ points 5 times in that streak. Looking to keep it rolling here today. Counterattack opportunity for the captains. This is Courtney Feist, and her ball will be played out. Rachel Cook. Good contact made. Better block there from Brown. And then her pass is off target. Hops over the stick of Feist. Dudley backhands one for Lero. Chapezi already on the run in the middle. Lero trying to sweep it inside. Diz boxes her out. And there's the foul on Diz. Lynchburg will take it there. Under 7 minutes to play in the first. Truitt wasting no time. Gets one through. Dudley down the line and kicked out by Davis. No real pressure put on by either team just yet. No shots given on the board. To our right. Great speed by Ascension. And a ball played that will roll to Nix before Ware can make a play on it. There's where their speed helps out the defense. On grassy turf, it may have slowed up before it reached Nix and allowed Ware to play on it. Meanwhile, Lero's got to help her inside. That's Chapezi. Here comes the shot across the middle, and it's just behind 5 and black. Redmond steps in and trying to force one to Romero. Better stick from Lewis. Redmond in the corner. And long hit coming for the Hornets. 5:26 remaining in the first. Strauss, one-timer inside the scoring area, and Lynchburg will pick up their first corner of the match. This is corner number 96 on the season. Unfortunately, I do not have the goals scored off corners number for Lynchburg, but I do know the opponent's number for CNU this year is 2. They've given up 2 goals on 50 previous corners against. Lynchburg trying to make that 3. 5:15 remaining. Emma Strauss set to send a corner in, and there it rolls to Dudley. Now Romero. Romero trying to get it back to Dudley. Great stick work from Rachel Cook. And then that's a defensive hit for CNU. So well done by the visitors on that corner against. And we remain scoreless. Redmond stops that. Strauss. Touched by the foot of Cook. Strauss fires one inside. Davis kicks it away. Strauss try it again. Re-enters. Here's Chapese. Laying it back for Lero, hopefully. Instead, it's cleared by the captains. But there's a whistle behind it, and that's a corner again for the Hornets. As you see, 4:06 to go. Strauss will take it again from the same side. Coach Morrow looking on. Whistle before Truitt can make a play. And they'll send Strauss out. So Strauss has to exit. So it's 7 for Lynchburg and 5 for CNU. Chapese sends it in. Truitt fires one high. It's up for Lero. She can't make a piece of contact. Best chance so far for the Hornets. It's a long hit for the Hornets, so they'll keep it on this end of the field. Brown wants to Truitt. And is it kept in? Yes. Terrific look at it from here by Johnson. Lynchburg, though, keeping possession. Whistle helps. Truitt fires one off the foot of Cook and out of play. Long hit again. That is the narrative for the first quarter for sure. Brown to Romero. One times it for Dudley, but just in front of her reach. Intercepted by Chapese, looking for Lero. Davis dives out, open net if they can get it that way. Instead, it's bounced off the captain's face and then off her foot. Bailey Miller, the last to touch it, and Lynchburg to the corner position again. Chapese started the last attempt, which was the best so far, but you have to imagine they'll continue with Strauss and or Lero. Those are the two that have taken the majority of strokes, or excuse me, of corners this year. And it will be Strauss.
Emma Strauss.
2:43. Now the clock rolls. So does the ball. Romero finds Dudley. Shoots one, hits the board. Lynchburg up 1-0. No doubt about that one from Emily Dudley, an absolute rocket. Take a look at it again. Just slaps it home for the goal. Her 6th of the season, her 2nd in as many games. And the Hornets on top right now, 1-0 with 2.5 to go in the first. Lindsay Riley just checked in. The game winner on Friday night against the Yellow Jackets. Now CNU with the ball in their offensive half of the field. Haven't seen that much in this first quarter. Brown gets in front of that, and a whistle blown against Brown. CNU trying to capitalize. Sudden change. Saved by Nix. Swept away by Shockley. Redmond trying to get it outside the half circle, and she does. Laurel Nix ready for that one and makes a huge stop with under 2 to play. Laro finds some open space, cuts to the outside, lost possession, but whistle keeps it with Lynchburg, I should say. 65 ticks on the clock remaining in the first quarter. And long hit that will go off the boundary padding. Diz to the other side. That's Miller. And just sending one ahead, hoping for friendly possession, and they get it. That's Ascension. And she's going to have that taken away by Redmond. Mueller on her own, has Ware ahead and finds her. Mari Ware on the end line. And last touch by Lynchburg, long hit CNU, 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Right idea, but just under the stick of Ware, and that will end the first quarter for us here at Liberty University. The Hornets leading the Captains 1-0 thanks to the 6th goal scored by Emily Dudley this season. And some great efforts from Laurel Nix in the cage. Back after this on LHSN.
Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Let's go back and take a look at that lone goal that was scored in the first quarter. Emily Dudley with a seeing eye shot just in front of the 15. Celebration well deserved for her and the rest of the team. And that's how we got to where we are now. 1-0 to start the second quarter. Teams will not change sides until halftime and still have that part of the old format. So obviously until this year, it was 2 halves, 2 35-minute halves. This year, they decide to go to 2 15-minute quarters, but they do not switch sides after each quarter. They only switch sides at halftime. That one was deflected, and it was deflected by CNU. Lynchburg really has dominated possession for the majority of this match so far, with the exception of 2 chances by the captains, in which Laurel Nix was ready. She has 2 saves. Olivia Davis with 1. Pretty even everywhere on the stat sheet. 4 shots to 3, Lynchburg advantage. Each team has had 2 shots on goal. Maybe another one coming here. Davis has it loose outside her reach. Laro trying to get it past right to the chest of Zero in purple and touched by CNU illegally for a corner. But what a terrific opportunity for Lynchburg, gone by the wayside thanks to just being in the right spot for Olivia Davis. In fact, let's look at it again. Great angle here. Laro able to wind back and try to lift it over top. Davis just too big. 5'9", senior from Ashburn, Virginia, keeps it 1-0 for the moment. And now Emma Strauss will line up from the opposite side of which she was starting things in the first quarter. And Laro jumped offside, so she has to go out. Lynchburg will still have a corner attempt, but Strauss has to exit. We've seen this once already in the first quarter. Now Laro does take the second most corners for Lynchburg. Dudley, why not? Wind it up again. And the whistle blows though. I don't know if that was a dangerous play or not, but in the end, CNU's got a runner way ahead. Ware never saw her though, and Romero takes it away. Very fortunate for Lynchburg, they didn't see that runner, which was Ascension, who has great speed. We've already seen that. Now they're going to try to get it to her, and they force it, so Green was ready for the blocking tackle. Ascension wins possession. Green lost her stick. Possession stays with the captains. Fired in from outside, never touched, so yes, it did hit the board, but it's got to be within that solid half circle for it to count, or be deflected by someone in that half circle. I remember, I think it was my first year, which was going on 5 years ago now. Was not aware of that, and someone shot it from outside, it went in, and no one celebrated, and I was very confused. Luckily, had our good pal Daniel Rowe next to me, who is now married to a Lynchburg field hockey alum. And he knew all the rules because, well, he had to. Sticks collide. Romero pushes that one ahead. Cook will take possession. Lauren Litzinger just checked in. Will pressure. Cannot dispossess Cook, who gets it away. Litzinger looks like she re-dyed her hair in the last 24 hours. It was not that bright on Friday night. The 225s going at it. And per usual, Taylor Green prevails. Litzinger with great pressure. The whistle, though, will give it to CNU. Ball gets around Strauss, played down the far sideline. Redmond trying to take it away. Ascension lays it back. Lewis plays it to the middle. .9:42 to play in the second quarter, as Brown has nowhere to go but backward. Green cleanly switching it from one side to the other. Shockley for Brown. Good jab coming in from the side by Feist. Deflected by CNU. Lynchburg will take it from there. This is Hayden Shockley. Junior from Milford, Delaware, lifts it high. And that's going to go back to CNU. Saba ahead to Ware. Ware double teamed. Cannot split Shockley and Truitt. But the whistle will keep it down there with CNU. Good stick work by Romero to poke it away, back to Laro, but now it's a chance and a block again. That time it was Brown. Cook sends it through, and it misses left. Lifting it toward the middle is Johnson. Strauss between the legs of the defender. Easy for me to say. Romero, free hit. Strauss steps in front of that, and the speed will carry the ball into the Lynchburg bench area. 7:30 remaining in the second quarter. We remind you, for feature releases, game recaps, and enjoying every video from LHSN, you can do that easily by following us, liking us on Facebook at facebook.com/Lynchburg Sports. Truitt taken away by the stick of Mueller. Plays ahead to the 4'10" Ware. Now she does see Ascension, so puts it in the corner, and even the speedy number 25 from Sterling, Virginia cannot catch up to that. Turnover comes right to Chapese. Chapese cuts back outside, creates space. Great blocking tackle by Johnson. And Johnson will send it across midfield. Ware and Shockley come together, and the whistle will keep it with CNU. Brown stepping in on Ascension. Truitt, pressure comes from Mueller, who takes it back for CNU. Feist asking for the whistle and got it. Dribbles inside the shooting area and off the hand of Shockley. They're calling a corner for CNU. Nix is going to check on Shockley, who is fine in terms of the ball hitting her. Lynchburg not happy with the call. .5:19 to go in the second quarter of a 1-0 game.
Number 7, Maury Ware.
CNU trying to tie it up here. Ware sends it inside for Feist. Feist will shoot one, looking for a deflection. She missed wide, and that'll do it for that chance. Green deflected back for Sabah, and now Chapese worked on by Miller. Strauss dribbles into double coverage, and Chapese will take this for the Hornets. Maggie Chapese pushing it ahead for Laro. Laro along the end line. She'll always look to get it back in the center. Just shoots one. Dudley's there. Dudley being watched over by like a hawk from Davis. And the corner will come for Lynchburg. After that, touches a foot or two. 4:25 to go in the second quarter. Quick look at the stats shows Lynchburg with 7 shots, CNU with 4. Lynchburg 4 shots on goal and gives 3 saves to Davis. This will be the 7th penalty corner for Lynchburg today. Just for transparency, CNU has 3. Strauss again. Romero out front, pushing it to Dudley. Shoots a hard one again. Davis has it kicked away and then cleared away by Johnson. Lynchburg will keep it on this part of the field. Dangerous rebounds a few times for each keeper, but their defenders have done a great job stepping in and saving the day in that moment. Romero called for the foul.
Hornets, number 24, Emily Giannis.
As Emily Giannis checked in, you may have heard our PA announcer, Mark Robertson, let us know of that. And Giannis could not handle the pass. 3:35 on a rolling clock as we tick closer to halftime, where we'll step aside for 5 minutes and then come back and show you some highlights, which right now consist of 1 goal and a few great saves. That lone goal scored by Emily Dudley with 2:35 remaining in the first quarter. Off a corner. Ware backhands one, got more turf than ball, but it's still in play. Now it's pushed out, and a long hit for the captains. Johnson, block tackle from Laro. Laro with the Speedy footwork and high skill stick work. Gets around Johnson. Laro pushing it ahead for Dudley. Dudley in the corner, off the foot of Diz. And Lynchburg will start right there. Giannis. Romero one-times it inside for Dudley. Carries the pizza, backhands one. Romero has a chance. Whistle came, though, and CNU awarded possession. And hear the sloshy footwork on this very wet AstroTurf as they come rolling by the mic. The block is put down by Diz. And a foul on Laro. Johnson. Mueller breaks away from Giannis, but then has the pass taken away by Shockley, who plays it in the center for Romero. Romero, great spot for Strauss. Good look out of the peripherals from Romero. Strauss looking for a backhand. Cook takes over, and all kinds of space to just clear it out of harm's way. Katori, Jackie Katori that is, in for the first time today. Makes a play on the ball, and CNU keeps possession. 60 seconds to go before the halftime break. Green gets 5 yards of room to work with. A worm burner that is taken by Cook. Lynchburg will take over, less than 30 seconds to go. Can they make one last push? That won't help. CNU will take control with less field to work with, which is a good thing in this case. 15 seconds, it bounces for Ware to make a run at it. 10 seconds left, Ware plays it back for Mueller. Great pass for Mueller, but just off the mark. Still an opportunity for the Captains. It bounces around and misses just wide at the horn. So close for CNU, but after 2 quarters of play, it's Lynchburg on top. 1-0 from Liberty University. We'll take 5 and come back with highlights of the first half and get you set for half number 2 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Growing up, me and Gus played for 2 different travel lacrosse teams that were basically rivals. I knew his name, didn't really know him, and we just played each other every year growing up until high school. And then I went to one high school, he went to our rival one. And after his sophomore year, he wasn't really happy there, so he decided to transfer to my high school because he had a bunch of friends on our team that played travel lacrosse with him, that knew him. So he decided to come over. A couple weeks before the school year started, and me and some of my friends were thinking about playing football, and he was at school that day and was like, yeah, let's go play football. So we all decided to go play football, and he just took off at it. He was an insane receiver. I think going into his senior year, he started getting some college recognition from a bunch of schools, and he finally decided to commit to Richmond and play football there. We had a very, very close connection with all our friends in high school, and still are very close, have group chats, have everything, always talking, at least minimum like once a day. We say something to someone in our group. But going to school is definitely challenging since we're not at high school with each other for 8 hours a day. So obviously it got a little difficult. Our whole group texts all the time, and not really thinking anything of it. It's in the beginning of December. Everyone's doing their own thing at their school. Gus is in the middle of his football season. We're all starting lacrosse or getting ready for finals. So it's hectic for everybody. And we get a text from one of our friends saying, have you heard from Gus? Like, his parents haven't heard from him for a couple days. And initially I didn't really think anything of it. And then the hours kept going on, and more people from my high school were texting me, have you heard from Gus? Have you heard anything from him? Have you talked to his parents? And started getting a little worried there. But next day, woke up, was getting ready for a final, and I got a call from my mom saying what happened, that he passed away from suicide. I wish there was a sign. There might have been really hidden, but when everyone talks about Gus, it's smile on his face, like ready to attack the day. Everything he did, he went all out. So it was, still is hard to think about. Put it simply, everyone loved him. After everything that happened, so many people came out of basically nowhere and just saying how Gus impacted their lives. People who were in dark places, Gus brought them out of. People who were down that didn't really have a whole lot in high school, he was there for them. And I like to think of that like Robin Williams quote when people that are going through the most kind of try to make everyone else happy and smile. And that's what Gus always did, so we're trying to honor that.
Take a minute, man.
So after the funeral, a couple days after, us and our group of friends were over at Gus's parents' house, just eating dinner with them, just trying to reconnect. And he got all his stuff, came back from college and playing football. He has a bunch of shoes, a bunch of cleats, everything. And we were going through his room, and his mom was letting us take one memorabilia, basically, of his stuff for Gus. And I saw these shoes, these Puma shoes, that you don't see around at all. And he wore them in high school. And I used to make fun of him so much where I'm like, oh, why are you wearing Puma shoes? And his one thing was just saying they're comfortable. So right when I saw those, I asked for those. She graciously gave them to me. And I've worn them ever since, but I kind of put a beating on them, so I had to retire them recently. Gus, along with most of my friend group, all Redskins fans, and one day at school, he just showed up wearing a Dolphins beanie, and a bunch of us were kind of weirded out by that, didn't really know what to take from it, and someone went up to him and was asking him, Gus, why do you have a Dolphins beanie? And his initial response was, I look good in it, and I like the colors. So ever since then, he always wore it, always had it in his car. So whenever we saw him, we saw that beanie. And someone came up with the idea after it all happened, and immediately, I think within a couple of days, everyone in our friend group from high school all had the beanies. Everyone who knew him got a beanie, and it's kind of our one way of just remembering him. Basically, everything like we've been hearing, saying, and like trying to preach is, it's okay to not be okay. Mental health and suicide prevention, it's just like breaking an arm, if your head's not in the right place, it's okay to go get help. It's okay to talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to anyone. My name is AJ Neves, and I am One Nation.
Welcome back to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, where the Hornets lead the Captains after 2 quarters of play, 1-0. And once again, welcome into the bleacher area here at Liberty University Field Hockey Field. I'm Joe Hutzler, riding solo with you today so far, and it has been a smooth, somewhat bumpy ride at times, but really great field hockey being played by both sides, each team with good chances. Defensively, they've been solid. Offensively, just one goal to be spoken about. And we'll take a look at some of those great defensive and offensive plays so far. Here's a save from Olivia Davis, who was really pressured more than we might have realized or thought she would be coming into today. Laurel Nix, also great game for her. 3 saves for Davis, by the way, 2 for Nix. And here's the lone goal, an absolute bomb from Emily Dudley that found its way off the board and in for goal number 1. That's where we stand after 2 quarters of play. We'll talk more about first half stats and get you ready for half number 2 after this on LHSN.
Do you hear about the new corduroy pillows? They're making headlines.
When I found out my toaster wasn't waterproof, I was shocked.
What is invisible? It smells like carrots.
What?
Rabbit farts.
What's Michelle Obama's favorite vegetable? Broccoli.
How does Darth Vader know what Luke Skywalker was getting for Christmas? He felt his presence.
How many kids with ADD does it take to change a light bulb? Let's go ride bikes.
that one is...
This is
New episodes of the Hive podcast debut every other Friday throughout the month. You can always go back and listen to previous episodes anytime on Spotify. The Hive podcast, only on LHSN. Welcome back to Liberty University. It is halftime with Lynchburg leading CNU 1-0 after 2 quarters of play. And we take a quick look down the stat sheet here at the break. Lynchburg up 1-0, 8 shots to 4 in that category, leading shots on goal 4-2 in favor of Lynchburg. 3 saves for Davis, 2 for Nix, as we already mentioned. 5 penalty corners for Lynchburg, 3 for the captains. Back in 30 seconds from Liberty University on LHSN.
This is
I know my director said we were back, but I wasn't done finishing my sandwich. Still not done. That's what happens with these field hockey halftimes, man. They're so quick. But the beauty of it is, if you're a team like Lynchburg who has some great momentum, not just from scoring the goal, but also having more chances to score, you don't have a prolonged period for the other team to make adjustments, game plan-wise, and you also don't have a long period to kind of get too relaxed to where you come out stale to start the second half. So see if that continues to be a trend here for Lynchburg as they try to pull off another top 20 upset 2 weeks in a row. Again, last Sunday from this very field, much warmer temperatures and sunnier day. They took down then number 2 Rowan 4-3. Rowan putting an extra goal on the board late. Now Rowan dropped to number 4 in this week's poll. CNU sitting at 12. Lynchburg trying to get inside the top 20 for the first time as they're just receiving votes. And here's great pressure on the start of the third quarter for CNU. Alexis Brown, head down, ball up, and whistle gives it to Lynchburg. Now we get to see Ascension up close in terms of where our booth is today. And from near or far, you can see terrific speed and skill. Here she is again. Redmond throws down the blocking tackle and wins it cleanly. Terrific play by the junior. Chapezi trying to poke it around Saba. But 23 in white gets the last chance. Chips it ahead. already at a fever pitch, 1 minute into play. Pushed ahead for Dudley, just out of her reach. Mueller, Feist. Right idea, but Chapese had the beat on the ball. Strauss wanted a call. Instead, it's a play for Ware. Shockley one-on-one with Ware. At least for the moment, slows things down. Jabbed at by Chapese. Off the foot of Saba. And Lynchburg will take over. Ware lays it back. Romero there for the Hornets. Pushed through by Lewis. Shockley trying to reach out for it. Ware continues to stay with it. That low center of gravity helps her out. And the whistle will help the captains out with the corner. First one of the third quarter. This is the fourth one of the day for CNU. Might have to get my jacket out. Whew. It's a bit breezy in Lynchburg today. Air temperature 64. No sun to be seen as this shot gets through and it misses wide. Nix laid out for it and hoped and prayed that it continued on its trajectory to the left of the cage. And fortunately for her and the Hornet faithful, it did. 12:19 to go in the third, still 1-0. But CNU has found an extra gear that they kept grinding in the second quarter but couldn't quite put it into that next gear. Lynchburg just continued chance after chance after chance. We had 3 long hits in a row in that first half for Lynchburg. So far, though, all CNU on the opportunities. Green, Redmond. Plenty of room. Passes ahead for Strauss. Took a bad hop. Ascension. Jabbed at by Brown. Brown just trying to create some space for the pass. Cook is there to take it away for the captains. Jacket has been put on and we are ready to go the rest of the way. CNU continuing the constant pressure to start the third quarter. Right mindset coming out.
In the game for your Hornets, number 18, Sarah McCollum.
If nothing else, you have to see if you can execute the aggressive game plan and do it early. So far, so good. Ascension driving. CNU looking to tie this thing up. Ascension somehow breaks between 2. Here's a chance. Other opportunity. 1 and 2, and then off the foot of Lewis. Grade A chance for the captains. They cannot capitalize. As soon as we get a chance, let's go back and take a look at that one. Shall we? Those in the truck, cue it up. Sweet move by Ascension to split the defenders, and then that ball found its way to a wide open Lewis who just couldn't make great contact. All she would have had to do was tilt her stick towards the goal and it would have gone in. Meanwhile, on the other end, Sarah McCollum pressured, and Lynchburg will have it on their offensive third for the first time this quarter. Cook lays down. That's going to be Lynchburg possession. And that one slides through. No one able to make connection. That'll do it for that possession. See if we can get that replay for you soon. The last chance by CNU. Right on cue, there's Ascension splitting. And Lewis right there. Couldn't ask to be in a better position. And then the whistle eventually blew. So close to tying this up. But here come the captains again just a few minutes later. And that's deflected by Brown, so a long hit for CNU. Under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cook taken away by Strauss. Great stick work. And that will be CNU possession once again. Romero lays that stick down. And then too hard of a pass for Strauss to handle. Everybody's saying good, looked like great to me. Alexis Brown calmly knocking the ball down, keeping it close to her so she can make the next move on it. In the end, CNU will keep possession though. You gotta be thinking if you're a captain's player, our time is coming. The goal is going to come if we continue to pressure like this. Squeaks through, Ascension backhands one off the stick of Shockley and aside. Johnson gets things started on the long hit. She'll go backwards. And this one gets deflected inside. Brown there again. And sure-handedly swats it away. Shockley pressured by Ware. And whistle in favor of Lynchburg with 6 minutes to go. Top of the hour here in Lynchburg, Virginia on the campus of Liberty University. University of Lynchburg versus Christopher Newport. This is the 18th meeting all time between the two since 2000. For a while there was a series of runs. Lynchburg won 6 straight from 2000 to 2005. Then they lost 5 straight to CNU from 06 to 2010. Captains are 8-2 in the last 10 meetings, including a win last season at Newport News. Lynchburg has not been victorious against the captains since 2015. Trying to change that today, looking for another upset over a ranked opponent in just 7 days. Revman. Whistle blows, and they'll bring CNU. They'll bring Lynchburg back. Revman needed to get back to a certain spot. That one off the shin area of Feist. We continue though. Revman pushing it inside, and then Cook will finish it off for the captains. Good tackle by Ascension. Green the last to touch it, but that at least lets everyone get back. As CNU once again will look to push forward. Mueller, all kinds of green turf in front of her. She goes down. She puts so much force into that pass. It connects cleanly to Ware. Bounces through for Ascension. Nix is down. Whistle blew. And the infraction was on CNU. Many opportunities for the captains in this third quarter, but none of them have gotten past Nix or the goal line yet. Also a bit odd to this point that we've only had one corner, as there's a call in favor of Lynchburg late, and the officials will confer from across the field. They do not have mics. So Lynchburg will take control, but not as quickly as they wanted to initially, to try and catch the captain's defense off guard. Laro going to be called for that. Three minutes to play in the third quarter. And that pass just off the mark, intended for Nyla Lewis, a sophomore from Charlottesville, not too far away from here, about an hour's drive north. Whistle keeps it with the captains. Quick restart. Mueller plays it for Johnson and sweeps it in, and it touches no one. Defensive hit for the Hornets. Dangerous pass. Ascension may make Lynchburg pay for it. Ascension dribbles, and there's a loose ball that's going to have to stop play. So I'm not sure what's going to take place here. I guess we'll have to have the equivalent of a jump ball. We'll call it a face-off. That's more apropos. 2 weeks in a row we've had a face-off. Last week it took a while for either team to figure out exactly how this works. So the official will talk them through it. It's Cook and Brown. Brown took it last week, so she should be a pro at this by now. Awaiting the whistle. And Cook wins it, but Laro takes it back for the Hornets. Laro sprinting ahead by herself. Finally gets some reinforcements. Lewis able to sweep it away though. Romero dribbling with that blue trail coming off the tips of her hair. Katori plays ahead for Ascension. 1:50 remaining in the third quarter. It's been all CNU. Unfortunately, a lot of their possessions have ended that way. Green will lift this one high towards center field. And it comes down. Possession to CNU. McCullum with the steal. Could not get it past the stick of Miller. The pass by Lewis for Mueller, who's going to run right into the Lynchburg bench. Litzinger telling her teammates, saw my life flash before my eyes. Mueller able to slam on those brakes and get out before any harm was done. Under 60 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lynchburg still with that 1-goal lead thanks to Emily Dudley's 6th of the season. Came back with about 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Lynchburg with their backs to the scoreboard. Their teammates will have to help them out with the time. McCullum, look for the shot. Could not get it away though. Cook was in with a great placement of the stick. Redmond quickly firing it off the foot of Romero. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. A lot of noise, no results. Still 1-0 after 3 quarters on LHSN. We'll be back in a few moments.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
Just because the game is over doesn't mean our coverage ends. Check us out on Facebook at Lynchburg Sports for the post-game interview and get the inside scoop on what it was like to be a Hornet tonight.
Ha ha! Look what you're missing!
It really don't matter to me, I'm just happy to be here, I might go crazy.
Hi, my name's Emma Goforth. I'm a health and physical education major, and you're watching LHSN.
Welcome back to Liberty University. Joe Hutzler with you this afternoon on a chilly Sunday in Lynchburg, Virginia. The host school today, well, the host school is Liberty, but the home team today is Lynchburg, and they lead at 1-0. After 3 quarters of play, Lynchburg did not register a shot in the third quarter. They had 8 after the first half, 0 in the third quarter. Meanwhile, 3 shots for CNU, including 2 on goal, which Laurel Nix made both saves. Also, only 1 corner was given in the third quarter, which is very odd for this sport. In the previous 2 quarters, there was 8 combined. What is in store for the fourth? I have no idea. You probably aren't sure either, so we'll both stick around and watch to find out. We do know that Lynchburg will have the first hit of the quarter. It's Romero. And she'll take off and just put it in a spot. McCullum, great pressure. Off the foot.
Back in for your Hornets, number 5, Maggie Chapese.
Chapese back in for the Hornets. Out there with the other starters of the third quarter. So when the time comes, Dudley and Strauss. Well, Dudley, that is, as we have a whistle and a green card given to the bench of CNU. Someone will have to serve it.
Green card assessed to captains, number 20, Sarah Mueller.
Mueller will sit for 2 minutes. Coming back in at 12:23. Meanwhile, Redmond's pass only loaded up 50%. Nice anticipation by Green. And right idea, but just too strong for Redmond to make a play on it. Gets past everyone. Defensive hit for the Hornets. Great ball to the center line. McCullum takes possession. Here's the freshman with those bright orange shoes just flying through the middle of the field. Laid it back for the bright blue hair of Romero. And in the end, CNU takes over. 13:25 remaining, a minute left on the green card assessed to Mueller. Lynchburg winners of 4 of their last 5. CNU also winners of 4 of their last 5. CNU falling to center 2-1, and Lynchburg's one loss at home to York College, 1-0. Jackie Laro breaking away out top. Laro with a chance to shoot. Saved by Davis, laying out to her side and keeping that one out of the cage. 4th stop of the day for Olivia Davis. That was the best one for sure. Laro with points in 5 of the last 6 contests. That's just her first shot today. Reigning ODAC Player of the Week, NFHCA Offensive Player of the Week nationally in Division III. But the captains have held her to just that one shot this afternoon. Ascension trying to get it past Strauss, and the captain says not yet. Worked out well for CNU, just a long hit. Deflected by Redmond, out of play. Ware. She's been held in check for the most part as well. Now a good chance for Feist, and another corner given to the captains. They're the only ones with corner attempts in the second half. This is the first of the 4th, and the first since the first 5 minutes of the 3rd. Another look at that last chance for Laro, and the great stop by Davis, doing her job, just sprawling out at 5'10" height, helping her.
Number 7, Maury Ware.
And now her offense has a chance to reward her for her efforts. Mueller. Stopped by Redmond in its tracks. And Redmond wisely dribbles it outside the scoring area. CNU will get it back. Mueller, McCollum, and McCollum takes a peek upfield. Squeaks it through. Laro gets collided with, sandwiched by Diz and Cook. Now Laro on the run. Has McCollum ahead. Laro, one-handed dribbling. Pulls it back. Dribbles to the top side. Laro again, another chance. Fires one low, deflected by Dudley. Still loose. Davis on the ground. And CNU still trying to poke at it and pull it away. The whistle will help out. And the captains survive again. Green making the smart decision just to clear it across the sideline. Nice block by Strauss. Redmond trying to get it away from Ascension. McCollum has help with Laro, but her pass not quite where she wanted it to be. Strauss pressuring Cook. Now Feist. Dances her way towards the center. Jabs it forward. Ascension takes over, finds Cook. Great work here by the captains. Long hit forward for Ware. Connected to number 7 in white. Looking for the corner. Instead, it's possession Lynchburg after the whistle. Green trying to go with a quick restart. Gonna bring it back though for the hit. She'll try the lift. Only got top of the ball, but then a great block tackle to get it back for the Hornets. Taylor Green plays defense. Most defensive players don't get a lot of the spotlight, but she earns it. Every chance we have, we make sure we highlight her play. And you saw it right there. Small mistake, but able to make up for it in a bigger way. 8 minutes to play in regulation. Lynchburg looking for the insurance goal. CNU trying to tie things up. Mueller backhands one. Kicked away by Nix. Corner, though, for CNU. That was so fast I couldn't see it. We'll try to take a look at it if possible, but still not sure who it went off of. We know Nix made connection. And too tough to see there. Got to slow it down next time. In the meantime, though, in real speed, pass to Feist. And a diving stop by Nix, who's fired up after that one, as she should be. Sixth save of the afternoon for Laurel Nix. And it remains 1-0 Lynchburg. Good pressure from Ascension. Romero works back to it. Romero jabbing it ahead and illegally pressured by Feist. Romero sends it inside. Here's Lero with possession. Lero works to it, lets it fly, knocked down by Davis. Dudley, now Lero along the end line. And last touch, they say, by Lero. Time becoming a factor as well. 6 minutes to go in regulation for the captains if they want to tie this up. Riding a 4-game win streak. In that time, they have scored 5 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals. They defeated Washington and Lee 1-0. Lost by 1 against Center. That's their last loss. It was a 2-1 loss. But they have not been shut out this year. Lynchburg looking to make a statement for the voters this week. Great ball from Strauss for McCullum. McCullum pressured by Saba. And the whistle keeps it with Lynchburg. 5 minutes to go. Major confusion on the part of Strauss and really everyone but Cook and Feist, who pressured that ball. Meanwhile, this one bounces inside from McCullum, who's backing down her defender. Wanted a corner. Instead, it's a defensive hit for CNU. And this one will just carry all the way to the other end of the field. Lynchburg had 5 penalty corners in the first half, 0 here in half number 2. As Green tops one again. And the captain's pressure again for Ascension. And that one will sail wide. Lynchburg obviously wants to get an insurance goal, but they're going to have to wade through this onslaught of waves from the captains. Another card being given. And it's going to be on Dudley.
Green card assessed to Lynchburg, number 2, Emily Dudley.
So she can't come back in till 1:15 remaining in regulation. Lynchburg down 1 on the field. CNU down 1 on the board. Great opportunity for them to maybe tie it up as that ball just squeaked past Laro, who's going to put big pressure on Diz. Laro will jab out for it, but just got away as Miller made the play. Johnson. Mueller back for Feist. Dangerous play to play it in the center when you have the advantage on the outside. 2:35 left. Mind you, each team does have one timeout that they can use. Neither has used them yet. Bounces off the stick of Green. Redmond takes it cleanly up the near side. Captain looking for the other captain, Strauss. She'll leave it back for Redmond. 2:10 to go. Tension rising here in Lynchburg, Virginia, as the Hornets look to take down a top 20 opponent for the second straight week. Good ball, did it stay in? No. .90 seconds to play. Lynchburg hasn't defeated CNU since 2015. They're 7-1 on this field in the last 3 seasons. Can they go 8-1 today? 1:13 to find out. CNU has dominated possession in the second half. They've dominated chances. They have not been able to turn that into a goal, though. Under a minute left in regulation. Strauss. Dudley back in, by the way, in case you didn't see her with that thigh wrap. Good ball forward for Lewis. Lewis plays for Ware, who's covered by Green, bumped into by Brown, and that'll be a free hit for the captains with 35 seconds to go. Played back for Johnson, who sends it inside, and it's wide. That's been the name of the game so far in this half for CNU. Opportunities there, but they just continue to knock with the execution still on the inside of that door. 8 seconds left. Brown pushes it outside. 5 seconds left. And for the first time since 2015, the Hive has spoken, and Lynchburg takes down number 12, Christopher Newport University. Excellent half for CNU. It just could not find the board. In the end, Lynchburg wins the shots battle 11-10, 7-6 in shots on goal. Each keeper played tremendously this afternoon with 6 saves apiece, 6 corners for CNU and 5 for Lynchburg. But in the end, it was that one corner that Lynchburg scored off of. Emily Dudley with her 6th of the season, her 2nd in as many games. And that held on to be the game winner today. 1-0 your final score. For more information, always click over to lynchburgsports.com and check us out on Facebook for the post-game interview with Emily Dudley. For the entire LHSN crew, I'm Joe Hutzler reminding you It's a great day to be a Hornet, and we are one nation.